accused are denied any right to an attorney and may not question the authority of this tribunal.
So we can't ask why you're doing this now.
At the conclusion of this tribunal, I will issue a fair and swift verdict.
Right. Of course you will.
Colonel, are we being charged with doing our job?
The charges will be defined as I hear your testimony. Now, Lieutenant Baird, begin with the last time we saw each other.
Hey all you mofos, Sergeant Mob here, and today I'm reviewing Gears of War Judgment. After Gears of War 3, some probably thought the series was done. Pfft, fuck that. Epic Games ain't done with this series yet. Now we have Judgment, which is a prequel. Well, and a continuation to the series. But I'll get into that in a second. The game modes to Judgment are Campaign, Survival, and Versus. But the interesting thing is that Campaign has two modes, Judgment and Aftermath. Judgment is a prequel to the series, and its main campaign to this Gears game. Meanwhile, Aftermath is some gameplay from where Gears of War 3 left off. So, in the Judgment campaign, the Gears crew is on trial for some things they did. You'll find out what they did as they recount the tales, and as we play through them. The Judgment campaign is around 5 hours, while the Aftermath campaign is around 2. So, 7 hours total. I'm including this here because some people will say this is a good thing, and some people will dislike this. I personally think 7 hours is a perfect length, but it's all about your opinions. Now we'll move into the pros and cons. For Gears of War Judgment, I'm going to separate each game mode to make my review just a little bit less complicated. So with that said, I'll start off with the pros of the campaign. I feel like I say this all the time, but the graphics actually look damn good for the Xbox 360. What they've been doing recently is adding amazing light, which really makes the older graphics shine in spite of being really old. But what really sets Judgment apart from the previous Gears games is something called declassified missions. The campaign is full of small chapters, each of which has a declassified mission at the beginning. These missions present special challenges that make the campaign just a bit harder, but also way more fun. This is something I really enjoyed doing, and it was a fucking blast. Gears Judgment has hidden contacts and Cooperative Campaign, both of which are just expected with the game this far into its series. But something that isn't expected is a team score system. So while you're fucking shit up in the campaign, you're racking up a ton of score. This is a shit ton of fun not only in co-op, but it also shows the scores from your friends so you can crush their fucking dreams. I did this quite often. It was fucking awesome. And the Aftermath campaign is a nice addition to the game. It gives you just a little bit more gameplay before it's done. But moving to the cons, overall, Aftermath is just a bit lackluster. The main campaign to Judgment is just better. It's more fun, it seems to be so much deeper. Aftermath isn't terrible at all, but you might not be as satisfied with it as you were with Judgment. Like I said before, Judgment has chapters. Sadly, some of these chapters are just way too short, and it makes the game just a bit choppy. Maybe they could have combined a few of these small chapters? Yeah. There's also very little emotional attachment to the characters. Yeah, Barrett is pretty cool, but I honestly don't care about the others too much. I really miss Dom and Marcus in Judgment. Finishing up the campaign's cons, the ending is decent, but it's definitely not something you'll remember. I totally understand that endings are hard to do very well, especially for prologues, but regardless, it's not that great. Come on, guys. With the campaign done, let's move to Survival Mode's pros. Survival Mode is a very cool new take on Horde. You know, Horde got kinda boring pretty quick, but this new game mode keeps my attention just a little bit longer, and it's something fresh, which is very nice. And I only have one con to Survival Mode. The AI is completely and 100% retarded. You know what this means? Play that game mode online. It is so much better there. Yep, that's pretty much all I have for survival. So now let's move on to the multiplayer pros. Some previous Gears games didn't have Team Death, but thankfully Judgment does. Team Deathmatch is a great mode for newbies, and there's plenty more game modes to spice everything up once you get a little bit more accustomed to the game. One of those new game modes is called Overrun. This game mode is tits as a motherfucker. I can't get enough of it. One team plays as a cog, while the other team plays as a locust, and they try to ruin each other's plans. That mode is fucking crazy. Oh, and did I mention the multiplayer actually works correctly? Seems like a lot to ask for, eh? Some of those old Gears games really weren't exactly that polished online, but thankfully Judgment is. Finally, multiplayer can be a fucking blast. But moving on to the cons, don't expect to kick ass right whenever you get online. Gears is notorious for being non-noob friendly. Maybe that's just because all the fucking tryhards online? Jesus fucking Christ! My second and final con about the multiplayer is Overrun. Even though Overrun is fun as hell, it lasts forever. Jesus! Can I get a motherfucking break over here? Damn! So, overall, Gears of War Judgment is a pretty fun game. I had a blast playing the campaign, survival was pretty cool, and multiplayer was pretty goddamn impressive. I didn't expect Judgment to be very good at all. I mean, it was a prequel, which is famous for being stale as a motherfucker. But I honestly enjoyed this game. So, to the scoring. If you're a shooter fan of any kind, I suggest you buy this game. The campaign is really interesting, and the multiplayer is a good break from the regular Call of Duty. As for casual video gamers, I would rent this game. The campaign will give you a good bunch of delight, but the multiplayer might frustrate you. So give this game a good old try, motherfucker. And with all that said, thanks for stopping by and enjoying my review of Gears of War Judgment. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to help me out by hitting that like button. Beyond that, stay on the lookout for some great mo shit, motherfuckers. I'll see ya bitches later. Peace. Now moving to the pros and cons. For Gears of War Judgment, I'm going to separate each game mode to my review in The campaign is full of small chapters, each of which has to do as a son of a bitch. But I honestly don't care about the others that much. I really miss Dom and Marcus and fuck! Damn it! Son of a bitch! I only have one con for this fuck. Finally, multiplayer can be a fucking blast. But moving on to the cons, don't expect to kiss ass. Shit.